Hello, everybody, and good morning. Thank you so much for tuning into the show yet again. I'm here to tell you guys that it is about time that you follow or subscribe to the show wherever you listen. I know y'all are out there listening and you're not subscribing and you're not following the show, and I don't like that kind of behavior. You guys know I'm tired of working these garbage jobs, wasting my time. The links are in the description of the show wherever you listen. All the links, all the social media links, all the different platforms. Wherever you listen, all I ask is to subscribe, to follow. Please, please, I'm begging you, subscribe, follow, and most importantly, enjoy today's episode. Good morning to you all. Thank you so much for tuning in yet again on the show. We have some fun stuff to talk about today. Whoa, some really fun stuff. Some news, some monumental news. Oh my goodness. Biden is a transgender? I'm kidding. It's not true at all. Everyone knows that. He'd be too late. Way too late. Is he older than Caitlyn Jenner? I would think so, right? Maybe if he got another person's brain, would that make him like transmental? That'd be pretty cool. Even though he's already had brain surgery. I mean, he could probably use a new one, right? But I'm not here to talk about that shit. I just wanted to fuck around for a quick second before we got to the serious nitty-gritty, the real shit, the shit that's really happening in this motherfucking world, in this life. I'm all jazzed up about it because it is crazy. Again, absurdity. I am an absurdist. Everything that goes on in this life, no matter how normal it looks to one person, to me and other motherfuckers that think like me, it's all strange. It's all craziness. So, guys, you are looking at some of the last episodes, these ones that are coming up, some of the last episodes that are going to be filmed in this studio. I'm moving. Yay. I'm moving. Caroline is moving to different places. Different places. Now, we're going to still try and make it work because we love the ever-living shit out of each other. We're going to still try and do long distance because love conquers all. Truly, I mean that. I know it's like an idiom or maybe a cliche, but it's very true. You know, and we're obviously accepting all the risks that come with it and all this shit. So we're going to try and make it happen. She's moving to D.C. She's already there right now with her sister. I'm still here in Providence with all our stuff. We need to be out of here by the end of March, I should say. So we got one more month on the lease. I am going to say, guys, I haven't told y'all where I'm moving yet, but I have to say, guys, it is a little weird because maybe it's the spontaneity of it all, but I actually really like this place in terms of the apartment and the neighborhood, and I've really kind of grown accustomed to the area. And obviously, I've grown accustomed to living with my girlfriend, and we have with each other. But ever since we started dating, there was a conversation that we would have, one that I kind of initiated. It was like, hey, there could come a time when one of us or both of us get opportunities in different places, and we might have to take them. There might be opportunities that we have to take. Let me tell you all about Caroline's opportunity. She's obviously a chef. Everyone knows that. And if you don't know it, then know it, motherfuckers. She's going to be working at a fine dining restaurant, brand new in Washington, D.C., right in Capitol Hill. Beautiful fucking area. And it's going to be like a fine dining tasting menu. So real highfalutin, real high-class food. True culinary expertise at work, put it that way. And the owner of that, the head chef there, is going to be attempting to get a Michelin star for that restaurant, which, if any of you guys, don't know what that is, it's basically the most prestigious thing that a restaurateur and a chef could ever get. And it trickles down to all the employees. If you worked at a place with a Michelin star, front of house or back of house, but especially as a chef in the back of the house, you can go anywhere. You can pretty much go anywhere, and you gain some insane experience. Now, that is a monumental opportunity. And I've always said to her, hey, take the opportunity. Anytime we had the conversation before this, it was like, hey, take the motherfucking opportunity. Fuck me, whatever. We'll figure it out. But most importantly, you need to take an opportunity that comes your way. And I hope you feel the same way about me. And then it actually happened. It actually happened for her. And then shortly after for me, I'll tell you what it is in a minute, keeping y'all on the hook. But it happened. It happened for her more or less first. And it was a shock. It was a hit. You know, we had a plan. The plan was to stay here one more year, sign another lease, and then both move to New York together. She was all in on it. She wanted to go ahead and work in the city, and there could be similar opportunities there and whatever else. But this happened. This got dropped in her lap right before the lease. Right before the lease ends. And timing isn't always the best, but it's always on time. Right? Timing isn't always the best, but it is always on time. So you got to take that motherfucker. And at first I was like, oh, this sucks. I can't be mad at her. And I'm not mad at her. I never was mad at her. I was never mad at her decision. It was an upsetting situation to know that she was leaving, and I, at the time, wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And it was either I go with her and try and do my comedy out there, do my podcast out there, but at least I'm with her, or I go to New York on my own. And the reason why I would do that, and this became inherently more clear as as this story progresses, I did my first show in New York. Everyone that knows me and all you guys who listen to the show probably know, because I've said it a bunch of times, that my end goal, not end goal forever, but my end goal for a while has been to get to New York, live and work and whatever in New York City. And now comedy is actually it has become my entrance into the city. It's given me a legitimate fucking entrance into New York City. It's the thing I've been looking for. Comedy right now, I don't remember the last time I started something and said, this is where I belong. This is where I fit. This is what I want. I'm a comic. I actually call myself that. I've done one show in a comedy club. I'm a comic. That's what I say, because I live like a comic. I try to do well at it, right? I try to critique myself and get better. So I'm a comic, and I haven't, like I said, it's been a long time. Maybe when I started martial arts, when I went to George Pizzari's, maybe then was another thing. I belong here. I'm a martial artist. When I got in the gym, I belong here. This is what matters. Sorry, I just ate a delicious skillet. Phenomenal skillet. I love cooking. I made my own bread. Anyway, when I started as a financial advisor, I never once thought, yeah, this is it. I'm an advisor. Like at my core, I never just innately went out and said, I am an advisor. I am going to be a financial advisor, and I firmly believe that I belong there. Never once admitted that to myself. And because it wasn't true. Because it was not true. And it took until I got the nuts to get back up on a comedy, on a stage and do stand-up to realize that this is what I actually want. And it's crazy because all I needed to do is look back to when I was a child. All I've ever wanted to do was perform, and comedy has been my number one form of entertainment, I guess, since I was a fucking kid. Movies, TV shows, all that shit kind of faded away as I got older. Comedy, forever. I've always been a fan of comedy. And now I realize that it's truly what I want to do. It's truly 100% what I want to do. I don't want to be an entrepreneur right now. I want to do my podcast, and I want to do comedy. And that's it. Like, it's actually crazy that I have made up my mind this way. But anyway, long story short, I did my show in New York City. It went fucking phenomenal. I had a goddamn blast. And immediately the next day she said, hey, thanks for coming. Let me know when you want to do more. Okay, easy. So, bang, booked another one, February 18th. And then maybe, I don't know, a week and a half ago, Kimberly hit me up and said, hey, do you want a spot on tonight's open mic? It was a Sunday. And I totally would have, but I wasn't there. So I'm already networked in with these people, Julius and Kim. They put together shows at Stand Up New York, the Comic Strip, and one other one. But they do shows all week, all the time. There's open mics, there's all this shit. And I'm networked in. So basically, I'm getting an opportunity to get into New York City. And for a while, I was like, I don't know. I want to go with her. I don't want to lose her. Long distance is going to be tough, whatever, all these things. And then one day I got stoned. And thank God for getting stoned, right? I realized that she's going to follow her dreams. She's going to follow her dreams. That should be enough motivation for me to do the same. And she wanted that. She obviously wanted me to go to D.C. with her, but she knows my heart lies in New York City, and my plan was to be there anyway. So she didn't want to fuck that up. She didn't want to make me feel like I had to go with her. So, nonetheless, I still felt like I did. But I got stoned and I started thinking, I'm like, hey, she's following her dreams. That should make me want to do the same. And the day before that, we kind of came to an agreement that, hey, she left on February the 2nd, so last Wednesday. And before that, she's like, hey, so are we broken up when I leave? And I was like, I don't want that. So right there, we kind of agreed to try long distance and make it happen. And we've already kind of not nailed down the logistics, but covered the logistics of how, we can do it and see each other and yada, 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 yada. So, long story short, I'm moving to if not New York City, an area around it. I looked at an apartment in Stamford, Connecticut, which is a phenomenal place, by the way. I can't wait to be back. I only went for fucking maybe an hour, not even. No, it was about an hour. And train ride there was nice, great scenery. But nonetheless, beautiful place. I want to go back, but that one kind of fell at the wayside. I could still possibly live there. On Monday, actually today, I'm an idiot. Today, for you guys, I'm actually in, I'll be going around New York. I'm checking out like 4 different apartments, and 3 of them, 2 of them are in the city, and 2 of them are like in the surrounding areas. So we're trying to make it happen, guys. We're trying to make it happen. And this is a moment where you got to practice what you preach. And for me, I've always preached, be ready to switch on a dime. And that's what's happening. Things are switching. Now, what does that mean for the podcast? That's what I want to get out to you guys. The format of the show might change. Now, what does that mean? The size of the setup could very well shrink because, again, I'm living on my own. I can't afford a 2-bedroom anywhere, let alone in New York. Can't afford a 2-bedroom. However, I can afford a 1-bedroom with a bigger space. I can afford, studios, whatever the fuck. But obviously, the smaller the place is, the smaller the setup is. Now, with that being said, the show isn't stopping. It just might look different to you guys. There might not be, you might not be able to see any of the posters that you normally be able to see. The desk might be small. We might not even have it, or the table might be small. We might not even have a table. Might be different. The room might be different, yada, yada, yada. So, there's that. Now, there's also the, what's the word I'm looking for? The way the show operates, I guess. I'm still going to do 2 episodes a week. Mondays are for sure still going to be solo episodes. But because of the fact that I don't know anybody there, and I don't love Zoom. I like doing Zoom because I can connect with all different kinds of people. But the reason why I got this whole setup is because I like having people here, speaking in person. So Zoom is definitely a possibility. We're going to have plenty of Zoom guests, I'm sure. But the frequency of guests will probably go down for a while. Because, like I said, I would prefer to do them in person. Doesn't mean I won't have guest episodes, but they might be less prevalent. Instead of 1 every week, maybe, 1 a month or something. Mainly because Zoom isn't my favorite way to have a podcast. Again, I spent all this money on this fucking setup. I don't mind switching it up, but I would like to be able to use most of it, you know? Now, if it has to be smaller, I obviously can't have 2 people on at once, 3 people on at once, if that's the case. If I don't have the room, whatever. I barely do that now. But the format of the show is going to change, probably. Now, what I'm going to try and do is before I leave, is I want to get a big archive of episodes. I would love to get, 2 months worth of episodes in so that I can drop guest episodes and while I meet people out in the city and, yada, yada, yada. So that's kind of the how it's going to affect the show. The show's not going anywhere. We're still going to do it. It's still going to be called The Smokin' Simian. It's just going to be maybe a little different. Maybe it'll be 2 solo episodes a week with a guest every month. Something like that. I feel like I'm getting better at these solo episodes as time goes on. I do a lot of talking in my life now. I, for a while, was a monstrous introvert, and I still am an introvert, but I realized that speaking with a purpose and speaking with a reason is something I actually enjoy, something I've always enjoyed. It's the nonsense, the small talk. Hey, how are you? Yeah, the kids. Oh, my God, the gas, the temperature. Oh, goodness, look at this. Biden, Trump, Clinton, Epstein, Maxwell, look at the NFL. Tom Brady retired. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't care. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear about it. That to me is wasted words, wasted thought, nonsense. Now, that applies to people I don't really know and care about. If there's people I want to get to know or my friends, yeah, we could talk about anything. That's why a lot of these shows, a lot of these episodes, when I have my friends on, it's us just talking about anything. We don't have anything in particular to speak about. We're just going up and down off the cuff. But now, with all the speaking I do, it's kind of just getting easier. It's getting easier. I feel like I'm able to be funnier on here because I'm practicing being funny multiple times a week in terms of comedy. There's going to be a big adjustment, man. I'm going to be paying, more than I'm used to live. I am going to be working more than I want to. Working in terms of, I'm probably going to look for a bartending gig in the city, work in a restaurant. I need a daytime gig because nighttime is comedy. I don't mind working at the beginning of the week at night, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I don't mind that. But when it comes to the week, Wednesday to Saturday, I need to be free to do comedy at night. At least those days. And shit goes so late in New York that there's probably a chance I could get out of work some nights and still go out to do my thing. But either way, a lot of adjustments. Public transit is going to be huge. Credit card is going to be huge. And there's a lot of fucking risk involved. It is a leap and a half to leave everyone and everything that you know and go ahead and make it happen. But my inspiration is Caroline. She did it already. She came here not knowing nobody. And she made it happen. 5 years, she made it happen. She got some phenomenal connections with people. She made some great friends. And she really has, a place in her heart for Rhode Island and Providence. She's from fucking Indiana, bro. What is she doing over here? Realistically, that's probably what everyone she knows back home was saying. What are you going out there for? Motherfucker, because I got a dream. I got shit I want to chase. My family is obviously nervous. They're nervous for me going out alone. I've never left the state, right? And they wanted to believe that I never would. But unfortunately for them, I have a life to live, and it has to be conducive to what I want. And comedy is exactly what I want. I feel confident. I feel great when I'm doing it. And I'm looking at it now as something that I think I can really do and I can really tackle and make something out of myself. I'm not saying that I'm going to be some national headliner, But you could be a comic and make money and live decently, plus my podcast. They're only going to bounce off each other. So, they kind of go hand in hand. Podcast, comedian. All comedians have podcasts now because it gives them a chance to be funny either by themselves or with other comics. So it's fucking great. It's networking, right? Having a podcast is networking. Hey, man, you're fucking hilarious after a night doing, open mic or a show or whatever. Hey, man, you're fucking funny. Well, I want you on my podcast. And now all my people from here are watching you. And then all his people are watching me. Back and forth. Hey, I saw you had so-and-so on the podcast. That's great. And then I'd be like, yeah, you're funny too. How about you come on? That's what the fuck it is. So, again, it's not going to be only comedians as far as guests. I want to keep the idea of the show going in the sense that I want all different kinds of people, different experts in different fields. And that's what the fuck's happening. That is exactly what the fuck is happening, guys. So, if there are qualms going forward with certain things about the show, hey, I wasn't able to get an episode uploaded this week, which will never happen. You guys know me. I'm dedicated like a motherfucker to this thing. But, hey, this shows up late, whatever. It's probably because I'm doing a bunch of shit. Soon I got to take the shit all off the walls. I got to make it look like there was never anything on the walls because we weren't supposed to do that. But, hey, that's what the fuck it is. That's going to be fun, taking all the shit off the walls and probably still having people come in here. It's going to look weird to you guys. I know you don't get to see the whole room, but it's definitely going to look weird to me. And wherever I'm going, will be my third studio. Third studio, which is nuts to think about. I guess. I don't know. Because you guys may recall when we moved in here, I remember talking about taking that last look at the old studio. And it's like, whoa, this actually was like, this is the beginning. And this is all still the beginning, but it like kind of hit me. It's like, wow, this is humble beginnings. This is where it started. We're in a fucking dusty, dirty fucking basement. We cleaned it out, and I started a podcast in here. And now I'm at a place where I'm going to New York. I already have a podcast behind me, and I'm going to do comedy, which, again, hand in hand. Shit goes hand in hand, son. So there's a part of me that's like, damn, this is going to be tough. But the other part of me is like, I think I'm going to enjoy most of it. I really do. I really do think I'll enjoy most of it. The hardest shit is going to be working super often. But even then, I'll have recency bias for so many months, probably 6 months, right? I'm in the city. Yeah, I'm working at this place. I got no problem, and then eventually it'll be, oh, God, this sucks. This sucks. I don't want to do this. This blows, yada, yada, yada. So that's what it is. It's adjustments. It's changing on a dime. Changing on a dime, switching up on a dime. That's what I talk about all the time in this goddamn show. And it's about time I live it, motherfuckers. Kevin Yepes, he scolded me. We were drunk, but he scolded me when I did the show in New York a couple weeks ago. And he was, he's like, man, you have to, he's like, you got to leave Rhode Island, bro. I'm like, I know, I want to. And he's like, yeah, you say you want to, but what the fuck? How come you haven't done it or whatever? And I know he's doing it because he knows that I can go wherever the fuck I want because he did it. He did it and he knows that other people can do it. And, those are the people you need around you. Those are the people who say it's possible. People who say you can fucking make it happen. And I'm scared as fuck. But I am excited. And this is going to be great. And I've been saving a shit ton of money, man. When am I going to use it? What am I going to wait and hold on to it and buy a fucking 2-family like everybody else? Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm taking a risk. I'm taking a goddamn risk. I'm bringing my money. You can't take it with you. Can't put it in the tomb with you. This isn't ancient Egypt. Might as well use it at some point. It's an emergency fund. It's savings. I haven't touched it. I literally have not touched it. I've added to it, if I'm being honest. I've added to it even since I haven't been home. And I know my ability to live leanly, right? I know my ability to make money. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to do what has to be fucking done. It's going to suck sometimes, but it'll all be worth it when I start seeing the tide turn. Okay, I'm working 40 hours a week in a restaurant. I'm a bartender. I'm making good money, but I'm working a lot and I don't really enjoy it. I'm also doing a lot of comedy at night, so I'm working super fucking hard. I'm getting home late. I'm waking up early, yada, yada, yada. And then once the tide starts to turn, I'm only working 30 hours a week. I'm only working 20 hours a week because I'm getting paid on multiple spots. I'm only working on a couple days because I need to make a difference here. And then eventually, when I'm making money off jokes, I'm making money off this podcast. Once I am making money off some shit that I never thought I would, never thought was possible, something that I wanted to do but did not think it was possible for a long time, then it'll all be worth it. It'll definitely all be worth it by that point. Because like I said, guys, I got brainwashed like everyone else does. Oh, no, that's too much competition. Everybody wants to be a comic. Really? Everyone wants to be a comic. And doesn't everyone also want to be a financial analyst? Doesn't everyone also want to be a physical therapist? Doesn't everyone also want to be a plumber or a lawyer or any other fucking job? Everybody wants to be everything. It's not easy to get anywhere. There's too much competition. Really? There isn't in these other fields. Finance isn't a highly saturated fucking job field. There's risks in everything. Yes, this is going to take a longer time, and I'm going to be telling my family all the time, I don't really have a job. I'm still trying to do this comedy thing, and it's going to be a thing for years. I might even get shunned by my fucking family. My grandmother I haven't even told her about this yet. I told her about the whole scenario with Caroline leaving, but I haven't told her that my decision is to go to New York alone. She doesn't want that. My mom doesn't want that. My dad, he's kind of indifferent toward it. But those two women, they don't want that. And my grandmother doesn't think, and, I don't blame her. She still thinks that I want what they've pushed on me my whole life. You get a job, you get good benefits, you went to college, you learn about... I had to straight out tell her, I had to straight out tell them, hey, I went to college for you guys, not for me. I went to college to give you guys something proud, or to be proud about, number one. And number two, to give you guys a little more, put you guys at ease, to know that I have the security of a degree behind me, which today means goddamn nothing, goddamn near nothing, right? And that's not here nor there, but she still thinks that I want to do that, and I want to have a family at a young age. I'm going to start a job. You're 24, you're going to be 25. You need to meet the woman and have good benefits and have this and set up a retirement plan and have a kid soon and all this stuff. Not saying she wants me to have a kid soon, but it's in the back of her mind. She wants me to start a family and do all this shit. And she's like, I want you to have, one time she was telling me, she's like, I want you to have a big house and all these things that I just named. And, to live a happy life, a good life. And I'm like, I can't have a good, happy life without those things? Truly, I can't. You would rather me hate the shit that I do for a third of my life, right? You work 40 hours a week. That's no overtime. You work 40 hours a week. You want me to hate a third of my life, sleep another third, and then, so basically, use 2/3 of my life toward things I don't have a choice over, right? You need to sleep, and this job wasn't my choice. It's your guys' choice because you want to see me do some certain fucking thing. I need to do that, and then, I'll be good? No, motherfuckers. No, that shit don't work for me. I've always said, whatever you want to be, you got to live like it. If you want to be rich, you got to live thinking that you're rich. If you want to be, if you're aspiring to be a electrician, you're going to live like a motherfucking electrician. What does that mean? You're going to learn how to get up early in the morning. You're going to learn how to bundle up when it's cold like a motherfucker and you're working near the water. You're going to learn all these things. You're going to learn how to pack a steady lunch for, twice. You're going to need to eat twice that day. You're going to learn about going here and there. You're going to live like a motherfucking electrician. A comic, you know what a comic does? A real comic spends his time writing and doing comedy. That's a real comic. Now, I can't do just that. but I can try my damnedest to. I need to work. But something that's going to take my soul away, like working in an office, pushing papers, that's not going to be conducive to me becoming a comedian. It's not. It's just not. I'm not living like a comic. Comics live like animals, and I don't necessarily want to live like an animal. I don't want to be an alcoholic or a drug addict like a lot of these comics are. I don't want to be a miserable fucking guy all by himself. I want to be happy. I want to do what the fuck I'm doing. I want to have some money in my pocket and the ability to live. So, and something I've done pretty much my whole life is work in a restaurant. I don't necessarily love it, but again, recency bias. It'll be a new place. I'm in New York City. I'm living out my dream. What the fuck? I feel like I'm going to be happy. Not every day is going to be happy. I'm not looking for happiness all the time. That's not true. I've shaken that. Because as a kid, you're like, I just want to be happy. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. As long as you're not miserable all the motherfucking time, you'll be okay. Yes, we have bad days, and it's part of life. We got to recognize the bad days. Not every day. But if I'm out living my dreams, whatever your dream fucking is, if you have something that you connect with spiritually, I mean, then you're doing the right thing, man. You're doing the right thing. You're going to be happy whether you like it or not. If your dream is to have a family and settle down, once that happens, you're going to be happy. It doesn't matter what job you're working. You got a family to come home to. Some people don't even think about the job that they're doing. It's not their dream to be a fucking bread delivery driver, but they do it because their real dream is to love and provide for their family. So they'll do that. Anybody that has a why, any person that determines their why can endure anyhow. I'm pretty sure that was Nietzsche who said that shit. My favorite guy. Nothing matters, and it never did. But he, again, if you find your why, you will endure anyhow. And my why right now is to be a cool motherfucker who does stand-up comedy in New York City, and it's happening. It's happening very shortly, right in front of my eyes and in front of yours. That's why I love doing this shit, because you guys get to watch me grow. You guys are like my parents. You can hold me accountable. So God forbid if I'm ever famous or if I'm ever in a position where a lot of people know who I am, you can bring up some of the fucked up shit we've said on this podcast and ruin my life. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for listening on this lovely Monday. We still got regular episodes coming out. We're rocking and rolling, motherfuckers. We're adapting. I love you all. Thank you also for a historic month in January. My goodness. We hit over 500 downloads in a month. That blew the old record out of the water. I mean, holy Christ, I don't know what happened, and the show's popping off right now. So I can only thank you guys. I do this shit, and I do it with whatever intention, but with an intention for it to be good, but I don't expect it to. I know it's a slow burn. It's gonna take time, and this is only one step. But milestones are fucking great, and you gotta acknowledge them. You gotta acknowledge the people who make it happen, and that's you motherfuckers. If y'all aren't downloading and listening and following and all this shit, none of this happens. None of this happens. So I want to thank you all so much for supporting me and the show and all that. Dates, we got Stand Up New York on February 18th. Go check that out. Check out my Instagram for details on that and purchasing tickets and whatnot. Also, March 3rd, I'm going to be at Comics Roadhouse at Mohegan Sun in lovely Connecticut. And then March 13th, I'm going to be at the Comedy Connection in Rhode Island. March 13th, that's a Sunday. And obviously there'll be more details looming around that. I don't really know much of what's going on at the Comics Roadhouse, but I think that one and the Comedy Connection, you can just kind of show up and buy tickets and tell them you're there to see me. They are bringer shows. Same thing with Stand Up New York. You got to tell them you're there to see me. And that's it, motherfuckers. Thank you all so much for listening. I'll talk to you again on Thursday. Peace.